HDMI cord should be on this one. Oh my goodness. We'll see.
The moral of the story, guys, is even when you want to give up, guess what? You just stick with it. And always have a braid in.
Wait, where's that even pointing?
Where's what point?
Yeah.
That is connected to Zoom. Yeah. Which you probably will see, but we're not going to pay attention to the Zoom. We're going to pay attention to everything else. You cannot minimize the screen when you are recording. Great. Okay. Let's see. Tell me if you can see once I get your notes up. And then I'm going to officially start. I'm not starting right now, but I'm going to officially start. I can't block it. It won't let me. All right. So I'm going to pass this out. 1, 2, 3. Most of this you already know. So I'm going to review this, and then I'm going to see if you can solve this on the board. And then you guys are going to go away and work in your math groups. Yes. Well, not your math groups, but your table groups. That's what I want to say. Not your math groups, but your table groups. So this is kind of review. Today, we are going to review how today we're going to review multiplying. And you're going to see me do a couple different things. Like today, we're going to review multiplying decimals by decimals. I'm going to switch my view so that I can share my screen so that who's ever on my screen can see me. Hopefully it works. Oh, no, it won't let me do that. That's not letting me do that. So I'm gonna make this even closer. That's it's okay if it's glitching. because they can see me on mine. I'm recording it on mine. So as long as mine is recording, as long as mine is recording, should be okay. It should be okay. All right, today we're going to review multiplying decimals by decimals. So let's look at what we know. What do we know? What do we know about this number? Two. So what do we know about this number? 2 tenths and 3 tenths. Okay, we know that they're not whole numbers. That's good. Hold on. Let me write it down. You're absolutely right. We know that they're not whole numbers. They are not whole. Can I just put the number sign? Is that okay? Do we all know this is numbers?
Yes.
Okay, so they're not whole numbers. What else do we know? They have the same denominator. That's good. That's good. They have the same denominator. Let's see. And it won't. It's a new page? Oh, thank you for telling me again. They have the same. What else do we know? They are fractions. What else are they? I can write this as a fraction. What else can I write this as? I can write this. I can write, yes, but we're going to focus today on what? What is our lesson? Yes, we're going to focus on decimals. So we want to know, how can we write this as a decimal? And we're also going to connect this with percentage. So you can write this, these numbers, as a decimal and percentage. Okay, great. Now, what if I do something interesting to this? I'm gonna do something really interesting. Do not write. I'm gonna do something interesting. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put a word in the middle of here. What does that mean? Now, what do we know? What? Now we know that we are multiplying 2 over 10 times 3 over 10. What is the thing that is letting you know that? What's your signal? So now we know. Now we know that we need to multiply 2 over 10 times 3 over 10. Yes? You got that part? Do you have it written down? Go ahead and write it. Because this lesson, you already know. So when you're looking at a problem like this, what do we know? We know that 2 over 10 is not a whole number. That makes me happy because that makes me understand that you guys are recognizing whole numbers from not whole numbers. We know 2 out of 10 is not a whole number. We know 3 out of 10 is not a whole number. When they put the word of in there, we know of means to multiply. So you have to know that. If you do not know of means to multiply, then you will not know what to do with this problem. You'll just be, you can compare it if it's just by itself. 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, you can compare it and see which one is bigger. You can't add it, you can't subtract it. So now we know with that oven there that we're multiplying. Thumbs up if you have all of this. If you need more time, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit more time. You do need to know place value. What place value is it? It's 2 what? 2 tenths and 3 tenths. Yes. So you could write that as a decimal too. That's awesome. Great, great, great from last week. You can write that as a decimal. And then if you have to multiply, what would you be multiplying? 2 tenths times 3 tenths. And I'll update that so you guys can see. Can I move up? Can I move up? Can I move up, Geo's table? Can I at least move up to, what do we know? Geo, are you good? Malik's table, are you good? Are you sure? Malik's not saying anything. Are you sure, Malik? Malik's still not saying anything. Malik needs more time. Okay, can I move up? Are you good? You guys are good? You sure you're good? Good. Thumbs up if you're good. I'm scrolling up. If you do not get this, I'll print it out for you. So there are 2 ways that I can write this. What's the first way that I can write this? I can write this as a fraction, right? I can solve this. Solving as a fraction. So Sullivan, how would I solve this as a fraction? Well, tell me what is no, Sullivan, come on. Can you write it on the board, Sullivan? Make me look good. How do you write 2 tenths times 3 tenths? You don't, okay. Brayden, 2 tenths times 3 tenths. You have it in your notes. Oh, go. Oh, go. 2, nice and neat. Right, yes, you do. Right on the line, in the line. You can use 2 lines, but that's kind of small. Well, the people in the back of the room say 2 over 10. Okay, now finish. Times 3 over 10. Okay, so how do we solve? Because Sullivan says, you know, he says he needs it. How do we solve? Are we solving crisscross? Are we solving? Do you know how to do it? You know how to do it?
You do the butterfly.
No, no. Okay, so what is it?
And then it's what's 2 times 3? 6.
Okay.
6.
Now go. Nope. All right. Does everybody agree with this?
No.
What's wrong with it?
Everything.
No, not everything is wrong with it. Just one thing. What's wrong with it? Elijah, what's wrong with it? What do you see? Are we multiplying using the butterfly method for this strategy? Are we multiplying like this? Yes or no? Who says yes? We're using the butterfly method for this. We only use the butterfly method to compare. We're now multiplying fractions. So are we multiplying crisscross? No. Okay, so we're not multiplying crisscross. Are we multiplying this way? Yes. So what is 2 times 3? 6. Great. Are we multiplying this way? Yes. So what is 10 times 10? 100. A what? 100. It's 100. So what do we need to add? 0. We need to add a 0. That's solving as a fraction update. Can I write this as a decimal? No. Yes. What place value does that 6 need to be sitting in? In the hundredths place. No, we're done. You're taking notes. You're done. You're taking notes. It was solved. It was solved. Now we're going to look at solving it a different way. Can I erase? Yes. So if that's the fraction way, then we have to write the equivalent of 2 tenths. So 2 tenths, what's the equivalent? What place value does that 2 need to be in? So that means I have a 0 point what? 2. Times 3 tenths, right? So what's that? 0 point what? 0.3. Now I would tell you not to solve this way. I would tell you to solve pencils down. I would tell you to solve vertically. I would tell you once you get to that point, you are doing 2 times. And now you're multiplying 2 times 3. What's that? 6. Thank you. What's 2 times 3? 6. What's 2 times 3? 6. What's 2 times 3? 6. Great. Now what am I multiplying? Now what am I multiplying? What is it? She can't hear you. 0. What's 0 times 3? 0. Now what do I have to put? A placeholder. Where am I putting my placeholder? Underneath 6. You didn't erase it for me. I'm about to send you out. So now I put my placeholder and I'm multiplying 0 times 2, which is 0. 0 times 2, which is 0, and 0 times 0, which is what? 0. And then I add, I'm not there yet. And then I add 6 plus 0 is? How many places do you see? There's 1 behind the decimal and there's 1 behind the decimal. So how many places do I need to move it? Who said 1? It's not, you have to count. For each number, or each decimal, you have to count how many spots. So if this is 1 spot and this is 1 spot, how many spots is that together? 2. So then I now move it to the left. 1, 2. And then you ask yourself, is that 6 sitting in the hundredths place? Yes. So that means this is equivalent to 6 over 100. Because that's the 10th place and that's the 100th place. And that's what we did. I want to say on Friday. That was Friday. Go update your notes. So the next part of this lesson is what when we're multiplying these decimals and these fractions, what does it visually look like? What are we visually saying? So I'm going to switch views again. So what we're really saying is, we're saying that we have two groups of 10 here. You see that group of 10?
Yes.
And we have three groups of 10 going this way. But it's out of 100. Does that make sense? Because our denominator is 10 times 10, so it's out of 100. So when we count together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I wrong? 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 2, 4, 6. Which is right here. Do you see it?
Yes.
Do you see it? Does that make sense? So let's look at the next one. And we'll model it. How many tens do we have? We can make it vertical. How many tens do we have that we can make vertical? 2. So how many am I gonna highlight?
2.
So I'm gonna highlight this row right here, 1. And I'm gonna highlight this row right here, 2, right? How many am I gonna make horizontal? You have to hold on.
8.
How many?
8.
So I'm gonna highlight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're only focusing on the colors that are overlapping to represent our model. So we're only focusing on this right here. And I don't like that so good. I'll make it. So we're only focusing on this right here. If I erased if I erased everything away, I would be just left with this. Does this make sense? If I erase everything away, I would just be left with that. So now let's check. How are we multiplying? Left to what?
Right.
So what's 2 times 8?
16.
What's 10 times 10? Now let's see if our model is representing what we multiply. Let's count. Let's count, let's count, let's count. Oh no. Oh no. So it was this. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we count just this right here, if we count just these squares right here, what are we gonna get? Let's try.
16.
Let's try. 1, 2, let's count. Let's count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
So what do we got?
16.
So is that right?
Yes.
16 out of what?
100.
100. Do you understand how to make the model?
Yes, the top floor.
Class. That is number C on your paper. If we had to write this out, what would 2/10 be as a fraction? If we had to convert 2/10 as a fraction, 0.2 times what would 8/10 be? 0.8. And if we multiplied it out, what would it be? 0.16. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Stop writing. You need to make eye contact. So last Friday, we talked about the fractions, and we talked about how the fraction actually told us where that digit needs to fall. Only when we're looking at over 10, over 100, and over 1,000. So when you are looking at that fraction that you make, when you multiply 2 times 8 and you get 16 out of 100, you should know that that 6 is going to fall in the what place value? What place value? If that 0, if there was an extra 0 and it had 1,000, what place value would it be? Do I need to review place value? Do we need to go back?
No.
I'm gonna go back. No, because you guys aren't participating. You're just, I don't know if you're gonna know how to do it. So I'm gonna go all the way back to Friday's notes. Here we go, Friday's notes. So if you're writing that fraction, and that fraction is a total of, when you multiply it, 6 tenths, this is telling you that the 6 has to be in the 10th place. If that fraction is 6 over 100, it's telling you that the 6 has to be in the 100th place. It's also telling you, you should be looking this way. It's also telling you what needs to be in the 10th place. Is there just a blank space? What do we have to put? If we're writing it as a decimal, huh?
Placeholder.
We have to put a what?
Placeholder.
We have to put a placeholder. So this is what I'm gonna do. Since we seem like we understand how to do it, totally fine. I'm not gonna carry this lesson out, but I expect you to be able to show your work. So I'm going to show you the next problem, and then I'm gonna let you go rogue. And then I'm gonna see, can you show me your work the way I want it to be? So I don't need you to tell me. All right, so for 7/10, how many am I gonna have going vertical? So you're gonna take your highlighter and you're gonna highlight 7 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many are you gonna have going across?
4.
If you have more than one color highlighter, use that. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we focusing on? Only the ones where the lines overlap. So the lines that are overlapping are right here. It's just this. So that's 4 times 7.
28.
What is that?
28.
And 10 times 10. What is that?
100.
But I need to rewrite this a different way. I need to write it as a decimal. So 7/10 is written as what? You're writing and you should not be writing. You should be telling me what it should be written as. What is 7/10 written as? And I love Peyton, but I'm going to ask Lisa, how do I write 7/10 as a decimal? 0.7 times what? 0.4. Do I actually need to do this? Do I actually need to solve this out? Because we know that it's going to be 7/2800. So what is that going to look like as a decimal? What? Equals 0.28. And this digit is the one that tells me that it's hundreds place.
Yes.
So